All right, here we go. Carver and Lisi NFL picks, and we're back. You could also say after doing the college, we are now here for the NFL. Look at that, Joe. I turned the light on. I was asleep in the last,
That's all right.
and I kept it low, and now we've come back with a little bit more brightness here for us as we flip to the NFL side of things. We already talked a little bit, Joe, earlier. Mike Carver, along with the Encyclopedia of College Football, the one, the only. Go for the two. Joe Lisi, about that Packer Eagle game on Monday night. We did that a little bit at the beginning of the college show, so we'll save some of that there for you. Joe, as we hit week 11, I think the biggest thing that I would say to you is this that I keep looking at every week, and I'm just kind of wondering because you had New England on Thursday night get this win over the Jets to go to 9-2. You look at the odds board, Joe, and you do it all the time on the AFC side or even the Super Bowl side. You're still seeing that the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens are like, they're being booked here as the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
But the Patriots, Colts, Broncos, and Chargers are obviously all ahead of them in the AFC standings. Are we just not? And look, I don't know if you can trust them, but are we just? Is it still? Would you take pot A, Joe, of Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, or pot B, New England, Indianapolis, Chargers, Broncos?
Excuse me. Pot one. Again, I'm not sold, and I watched the game the other night with New England, and they're doing a great job. But I still think in a playoff type of situation, they could be exposed. We'll see. Chargers, again, until Herbert wins a playoff game, how could you buy in? Right?
Right.
And the Colts, Daniel Jones, and that team at times now have shown that they're not as dominant as potentially we thought. Again, I think, and they proved it yet again. Philly's the best team, hands down. I don't care what you tell me.
I agree.
In the league, in a playoff environment, all my money's going on Jalen Hurts and that team to rebound, even with the off the field situation with AJ Brown. I believe in them more than I believe in anything else. So, but again, the AFC, I'm not buying into just Lamar running the table, but they, in a big spot, I like them better because of the experience around them as opposed to the young guns that we have right now.
Yeah, I'm not. I still think you're right, and I think most people would say it's pot one with the teams that have been there the last. Well, really, the Chiefs are the ones who have been there. The Ravens and the Bills haven't been in a Super Bowl anytime soon. But the Chiefs being the team that's in that first pot. But Joe, like we're obviously going to talk about this Chief Bronco game. Like, if the Broncos ever won this game this week,
yeah,
the Chiefs are going to be 5-5, and for as much as when they started up, what was it, 0-2, right? They lost the Eagle game the second week, right, Joe? And they were 0-2.
Right.
And you were one of the guys throwing the dirt on them.
Who?
That you were. You were one of the guys throwing the dirt on them, saying, this is it. It's over. Then they win a few games, and everyone goes, well, there you go. The Chiefs never were going anywhere. The thoughts of their demise were a little too early. And now if they lose, Joe, and they're 5-5, I get you just got to get in, and they've shown you that they could kind of go on the road. Now, they haven't gone on the road all 3 weeks. They had the year a couple years ago, Joe, where they had that ice game against Miami at home the first weekend, and then went on the road, right, the 2 weeks after that.
Right.
Which was where, Joe, they know they won the AFC title game in Baltimore. Where'd they go that middle week? Oh, Buffalo. They went to Buffalo, and then they went to Baltimore, and they still went to the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying that just if they were the 7 seed, that wouldn't give them a chance to still go to the Super Bowl, but it'd be 5-5 with the Broncos having 9 wins and the Chargers maybe after Sunday having 8 wins. It'd be pretty buried in the AFC West.
Right. Yes. I don't think they're that good defensively, and I know Spags, and I think they could be exposed. I mean, Jacksonville exposed them. Chargers exposed them week number 1. I mean, there are teams that have moved the football on the Chiefs, right? I mean, and so I think whether Denver gets the win or not, I still think that in a playoff environment, they're not as strong as they once were. And that's why I can't buy into the big picture. Put it this way. There's only one team I would buy into Super Bowl odds. And I hate that it's the Eagles. I think they're going to win back to back.
Well, look, and Ripper just put in the comments, and I do agree. I think the Rams can beat Philly. Now look. I know what you're going to say. First of all, the Eagles are now on a path, Joe, where they have the opportunity to run away and hide for the 1 seed in the NFC. With all the problems that they've had and this AJ Brown nonsense and all, they beat the Lions on Sunday night. And they're going to be on their way, because I still believe that the teams in the West are going to beat each other a couple times. The teams in the North are going to beat each other a couple times. Tampa's not going to win enough to get close to them. The Eagles are going to get to run and hide for the 1 seed. And I know that initially you would say, well, the Rams would have to go there in January. Rams played well in the snow against them in the playoffs last year. Rams were right there to beat them.
Carver, yes. But again, you got to keep in mind.
Rams could beat them.
No, they can't.
I think Philly's better.
No, they can't.
Joe, you can't say that you're telling me no shot they'd beat the Eagles. No shot at all.
No shot.
That's a little too much for you. Now, I will admit that the Eagles are better. I would take
in the
Eagles.
They won 26. They were winning 26-7 in the link and gave up 26 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Okay. They are not that great of a team, the LA Rams.
All right.
They're a one-trick pony. They got Puka. They got an aging Devontae Adams. Their defense is good. It's not elite.
Okay. We'll throw them away. We'll throw them off the pile. It's all right. Just get them out.
I've been on the Rams the previous
no shot.
2 years.
No shot. You're saying
write them off. They're done.
No shot. They have
no shot.
And this is a good one from Bubba too. We had a couple good ones here. Who are the 3 worst head coaches in the NFL?
Now,
for him, he says McDermott, Morris, and McDaniel. Now, I will tell you, Joe, I'm going to say McDermott. But look, McDermott's won a lot of football games, but his in-game management it leaves a lot to be desired. I will tell you one name on that list. Raheem Morris is without question one of the 3 worst head coaches in the NFL. And I know he's had a couple bites at the apple now. Mm-hmm. He's not a good head coach. He's a great coordinator. He's probably great with guys in the locker room. He is not a good head coach. No question in my mind. Raheem Morris. He sucks. A good head coach.
See, but again, he's another one that doesn't hear any heat. He sucked. He wasn't deserving of getting the job coming off what? He was a previous stint. All right, we'll give Raheem Morris the job. Is it any different with Raheem Morris than what you had with Arthur Smith?
Right.
I mean, no. He sucks. Gannon is proven to be another one. He sucks too.
I have seen people this week start to champion the idea that McDaniel should be back with the Dolphins next year. I know you hate this guy. You don't like this guy whatsoever. So
I can't stand him.
I have seen Dolphins.
I would like to put him through a wall. I really would.
They would want him back next year.
I would like to I wish I could line up and just pick him up and plant him through a wall and not have to worry about the repercussions. Just because he is a terrible in-game manager. I keep telling you, the games they win, it's because the game plan works from the get-go. That game plan worked against Buffalo. Whatever he devised, right, that worked. He didn't have to make adjustments because he had the lead from start to finish, right? When they're trailing or their game plan is not working, playoffs, better team, he doesn't adjust. He doesn't adjust offensively, and he doesn't devise a game plan to get his team back into the mix. And that is not the mark of a good coach. I'm sorry. And all these guys that want to defend him because they're afraid about being called out, get real. Get your head out of your ass and wake up. The guy sucks, and he's not a motivator. But then again, here we go. The modern day player can't be called out, We're affecting their character. We're hurting their feelings. Give me a break. At what time? At what point? You're playing football. Nobody's forcing you to play. Oh, but I'm 6'7", 290. Well, then you know what? Be a male model. Do something. Nobody's asking you to get your ass kicked. But the $50 million that's in your pocket, that you like that, right? You
right?
like the brand. You like the brand. Do it for the brand.
Carver Lisi, week 11.
Don't get
NFL
me
picks.
started. You got me all pumped up. You got me all pumped up for no reason.
Here's where we're at with this. I'm not completely out of this. I'm only, I guess, 7. What is
You
it?
sure that's
eight
right?
games back. What do you
You
mean?
sure that's right?
That's right?
What was
You're
I last week?
24. You were 2-2 last week. You're 24-16. I was 2-2 last week also. 17-23. Nice big week for me here. Get me back inch a little closer to 500 and try to track you down here. As I'm 7 games behind you. I'm not dead yet here in the NFL, unlike college. I do have a chance to get back into it for you. All right, Joe, week 11, pick number 1 for you.
I'm going to go with the early game. I hate
Oh,
McDaniel.
my
I'm
God.
taking
You're gonna
Mariota.
pick this
I'm
Madrid
taking
game.
Dan Quinn. Much better coach. Much better quarterback.
They've lost
Mariota's
like 20 plus, like 2 or 3. What is
It's
it,
all
3
right.
games in a
They're
row? They've
catching
lost by
2.5.
20 plus points.
Everybody thinks Miami's going to go on a heater now. Not going to happen. That was their Super Bowl against the Bills. I don't care that they're playing better. They suck. And you know what? Washington, I still think, has some heart. I would much rather buy into Chris Rodriguez, Mariota, all that group, Zach Ertz, and Dan Quinn, that at least is a prideful head coach. Give me Washington plus the 2.5 outright, too.
Well,
Mortadell number 1. Mortadell number 1.
Mortadell number 1. Well, as you know, Joe, I have a rule and I'm going to stick with it. I don't bet European games. So you're probably right. Washington probably win the game after Miami got a big win last week, but I will not be involved whatsoever. And I know last week was against the trend or against the norm. The Colt Falcon game wasn't awful, Joe. It was a fun game. It was back and forth, went to overtime. Usually the games are trash. I think this game goes back to that. I actually like the under, Joe, if I had to play anything, but I won't play it because it's a European game.
Okay.
I can't go and do it. But 47.5 seems like a lot, even though you got a couple of bad teams in the mix here. Pick number 1 for me. I'll go to this Bengals-Steeler game, Joe, for my first pick. These two, of course, played that Thursday night game a month ago or whatever it was when Flacco came in. You had Tomlin with I can't believe that they traded Flacco in the division. Flacco had a great night. Bengals beat him at home. Now the Steelers come home after losing to the Chargers out in L.A. Bengals off a bye. Morale high with them getting Burrow back at practice a little bit, but it's still going to be Flacco here. 49.5 the total. They completely smashed that when they played the Thursday night game. I like the Bengals, Joe, plus the 5.5. I don't trust Pittsburgh to cover anything right now. They might win the game if they can make it a little ugly, but the Bengals could score enough that I don't think they're going to get blown out or lose by 7+ to the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are good enough to do that. So I'm going to take the Bengals, Joe, plus the 5.5, division game, road, etc., off a bye, plus 5.5 against Pittsburgh.
Mortadell number 2. Checker on a checker.
Okay, you're on the Bengals. Family play?
Family play.
Family play.
I'm not
Bengals.
sold. I think this Pittsburgh's team at best is a 7-win football team. I think they suck. I think they're old on defense. And again, I think they got exposed. The Jets should have beat them. I think Rodgers is starting to slow down. I think the offense has no identity. And again, I think against somewhat decent teams, they lose. I don't think they're good. So give me a checker on a checker. I like Cincinnati plus the 5.5.
Family play.
Family
for
play.
us, for Eddie in Columbus, who always keeps track of that stuff. We do have one family play, and it's in the NFL this week. All right, pick number 2 for me. I'll go to this Kansas City-Denver game, Joe. Big game in Denver, right? Now, I can't figure the Broncos out. They're 8-2, Joe, and for 85% of their season so far, their offense looks absolutely pathetic. But for some reason, they've had some of these games in the fourth quarter where the offense looks like the 2000 Rams. You can't figure it out. And they've got a pretty good defense. Kansas City off a bye. High stakes here. Line's 3.5. But for me, Joe, it's the total that I'm going to. I think the Denver defense is good enough to hold Mahomes and the crew to 17 to 20 points. I think the Denver offense is bad enough against, I know you said bad Kansas City D. I think the Kansas City D is a little bit better than you're giving them credit for. I think that they can hold Denver's putrid offense most of the time, except in the fourth quarter when they're down pretty good. So I like the under, Joe. Under 44.5. Kansas City and Denver. Is that on your card too, huh? I love this under, Joe.
I'm on the over.
It's a ruby slipper play for me.
All right, well, over 44.5.
Over!
I think it's completely opposite. I think it's completely opposite. I think Denver pushes a little bit of tempo. They're not going to be able to run with J.K. Dobbins in the rushing attack because that is the strength of Kansas City. And Bo Nix is going to have to make some plays over the top. Again, I don't think it's a Dallas score, right, where they put up 60, but I'll take the over 44.5. Last time they played, it was Wentz last year. It was 38 zip. I like the over 44.5.
Okay. So
not a mortadell, though.
Not a mortadell. So opposite sides for the Denver, Kansas City total for me and Joe this week. All right, pick number 3 for me.
4 for you.
No, this is 3. You went first.
You sure?
Yep. I've done Cincinnati and I've done the under.
Okay.
You started first. You have 1 left. I have 2. Packers Giants at MetLife on Sunday. Packers coming off that abysmal performance Monday night, at least by their offense. Joe's talked plenty about that. The Giants, of course, fire Brian Dable. Kafka will be the interim. But the main ingredient here, Joe, is no Jackson Dart. And more importantly, no Russell Wilson, who looked like Chicago was the last place he wanted to be last Sunday when he got thrown into that game. So good job by Kafka. Let's get Jameis in there and get a little run. Now, here's the one thing about Jameis, Joe. Anything can happen. I think he's going to be able to move the Giants around a little bit, even though they don't have very good weapons. We know that. And I think he'll also gladly throw the ball to the other team a whole bunch of times too. I think that this total's short with Jameis being the quarterback. I think a lot of this is based off of the Packer offense looking so bad on Monday night and the last couple of weeks. I think Jameis is going to put them maybe in a couple positions to score some cheap points. And I think Jameis will be able to move the Giants a bit. Over 43.5, Packers and Giants. Pick number 3 for me.
All right, pick number 4 for me is they were a heavy betting team last week, and they laid an egg at home, 17-7. They lose to New Orleans. But they dominated Atlanta last time.
Smashed them.
And now they go and they're catching 3.5 points. This is a hot and cold team. You bet one, meaning every other week Carolina covers, okay? And everybody got smashed with them with New Orleans. Actually, New Orleans was one of my picks last week. I think it was a mortadell. And now I feel like I have a pretty good read on Carolina. I think they match up well with the Falcons. They're catching 3.5. They're a 500 team. They're looking potentially, who knows, maybe a wild card if things break right. They have to win the game. It's on the road. 3.5 points in a divisional matchup. I think they're the better team, even though you might say Penix and they have better weapons, I guess, but they're not playing like a team. And Raheem Morris sucks as a coach. Give me Carolina. They might win it outright, plus the 3.5.
I think they will win it outright, Joe. I think they're going to beat Atlanta on Sunday. Atlanta sucks. Let's just call it like it is. Atlanta sucks. They're not good. But Carolina, man, it is a roller coaster ride when you're playing them. Roller coaster ride. And yes, Ripper, the Giants defense is terrible. That also factors in a little bit for my over in that game. Pick number 4 for me, Joe. I was going to go with one game, but I'll just wait and we'll talk about it separately because I like this one as well because I'm pretty sure that Lamar is going to play. He did get back to practice yesterday. I know he didn't practice Wednesday. I think the Ravens now, Joe, have kind of got that little eye on the prize a little bit. They started 1-5. They lost Lamar for a bunch of weeks. They get him back. They've won now 3 in a row to get to 4-5. They can get back to 500. And Joe, that's the toughest thing, right? When you get yourself in an early hole in the season, once you can get yourself back to that 500 mark is where you can kind of feel like you can maybe springboard off of that. And the Ravens have a little bit of that this week. I know it's on the road in the division, and I know Cleveland's defense can sometimes keep them in games. Last week, unfortunately that's got to suck if you're Cleveland's defense. They gave up 2 special teams touchdowns to the Jets early in that game, and you basically leave the defense for nothing. But I think that the Ravens, Joe, it's a smash job in Cleveland on Sunday, especially with this Dylan Gabriel playing quarterback who stinks. This is a game, nice, easy for the Ravens, 27-7, 27-10, somewhere in that realm, covering the 7.5 without a sweat, I believe. And, it's usually everything's a sweat in the NFL. I get it. Ravens minus 7.5, Joe. Pick number 4 for me.
All right, good luck. I'll root it in for you. There you go.
So you don't like it. You don't think the Ravens? You don't like
I hope they lose. I'm tired of talking about.
Well, I don't like them either, Joe. Listen, if they're going to lose the game outright, that'd be great. I wouldn't mind that at all. But if I'm laying the 7.5. I am going to bet the game.
All right, ready? Washington plus 2.5 outright, but for the sake of the show, with the points, Mortadell. Cincinnati plus the 5.5, Mortadell. Over KC, Denver 44.5, Carolina plus the 3.5. Your 4 NFL picks for week number 11.
For me,
is it 11 or 12?
This is week 11. For me, Cincinnati plus 5.5, Denver, Kansas City under 44.5, Giants, Packers over 43.5, and the Ravens minus the 7.5. The 4 picks for me here in week number 11. All right, Joe, the other games neither of us hit. Bears now 6-3 into Minnesota against the Vikings, who are 4-5. Vikings minus 2.5 with a 47.5. This is, again, it's like another one of those games, Joe. The Bears have been pulling these games out. Does that continue here in Minnesota on Sunday?
Could we get the over there is the question.
Yeah, I don't like this McCarthy.
I don't. He sucks.
To be quite honest.
He can't get the football. Like Addison. What happened? You went right off your rocker there. What happened?
I dropped my phone. So
yeah. All these. I'm looking at X now. All these gurus coming out. It's amazing.
I had a problem with everybody.
I do. I hate everybody. I really do. It's amazing. I'm a people guy. I love if people are nice to me. I'm nice to them. It's not. That's not it. Right. It's just I just hate this industry. They're all hypocrites in this industry. You know that they're all slime balls. The media are all slime, and even though we're part of it, they're all slime buckets. They are.
Who do you like in the Chicago-Minnesota game?
I like the over. I'm going to go with the over.
The line smells to me. This could be Vikings. As much as I don't like McCarthy. This could be Vikings, Joe, in this spot. Yeah. You mentioned Carolina. I'm with you on that. Yeah, any interest in laying 3 with the Chargers on the road in Jacksonville?
I'm going to take the over, but I don't.
The over in the Charger game?
Yeah, but something doesn't seem right. That total should be 46.5, 47, and they're hanging a 43.5, which leads me to believe it's a lower scoring, ugly game. There might be, we got to check, see if there's rain in Duval County. Something doesn't add up. That total with Herbert and Lawrence should at least be 46.5. Why are they hanging 43.5?
I'd have to look at the weather. Honestly, Joe, I have no interest in the game. It's not a game. I got plenty of other games I can lose money on this week. Chargers, Jags just doesn't call to me, Joe. It just doesn't. Bucks are in Buffalo against the Bills. The Bills coming off just completely gutless performance in Miami against the Dolphins. They're laying 5.5. Tampa coming off a loss at home to the Pats. Total's 46.5. The total seems light, Joe, at 46.5. Now, I am down on the Bills, as you know. I would prefer the path this year that probably gets McDermott fired. And, whatever that path is, I'm not sure if it even exists, considering how tight they all are there, Pagula and Bean and McDermott. But these games at home, Joe, they usually show up. 5.5 is a tricky number. I think the Bills win the game. I just think the total. Don't you think the total's a little low for Baker and Allen here? Don't you think it's a little light? 46.5. Bucks might get Irvin back. Gonna get it
Well,
Bills defense
what do you think it's
sucks.
for 49.5?
I thought it'd be closer to 50. Not gonna lie.
I like the Bucks, but it's scary. It's just.
I feel like it's a game the Bills, the Bills get dumped on all week after that gutless game, and then they come home, and I feel like they're.
Plus, what's the weather? But Tampa Bay is going to go there. It's going to be like 35
Well,
degrees.
I saw a shot. I don't think it's going to be snowing on Sunday, but they did have their first snowfall. The field had all the snow on it the other day up there, so the cold weather's here. That's for sure.
I don't know.
Texans and Titans. Davis Mills 5.5 on the road in Tennessee.
I hate that team. I hate
37.5, Joe.
I mean, D'Amico Ryans is another coach. He can't buy in. He wants to play every game under the total. It's terrible.
Why win games 40-20
He's
when
terrible.
you can lose them 17-14? I know that's what he is.
I probably would go Goddard 38.5.
We're gonna get to that game. Goddard and Smith, because that's a big game that we got coming. We got two heavy hitter games, Joe, that we haven't talked about. Let's get the other trash game out of the way. Niners laying 3 in Arizona against the Cardinals. 48.5. And I saw Purdy back, right, Joe? Purdy back.
Yeah, that scares me because, again, now, is he going to be rusty? Mac Jones at least could deal. I mean, Arizona does match up with them. They went toe-to-toe with them last time. They lost by what, 2 in San Fran?
Yep.
Bam Knight got injured. He sucks. He's like a chandelier, that guy.
Give me the Niners.
I had him over 28.5. He finishes the game with 28 on the button. The guy's on the goal line, anytime touchdown, right? These guys don't dive anymore. Like, where's the Walter Paytons? Where's the guy over the top? It's 4th and goal on the 1 yard line. Can you sell your effing body over? Break the collarbone and worry about that later. Can you just sell yourself? No sacrifice from these guys. Nobody dives anymore.
Nope.
There's whatever happened to over the top. Dive. And not only that, these gutless QBs, like they're like so like just like I even see Josh Allen. And I know dude, you're 6'7", 6'6", 250 foot. He's like lollygagging into the line. Dive. Sell your body. Stick the arm out. What are you doing?
I like the Niners in the game.
I'm going to take the Cards.
Okay.
They cost me last
All
week.
right.
I'm going to take
two huge games in the NFC. The Seahawks into Los Angeles against the Rams. Rams -3, 48.5 is the total. The Seahawks, Joe, as you know, under McDonald, have been incredible on the road, which is just mind-boggling to think about. But they have been awesome since he got there. They've gone 8-0. I'm trying to find the stat for them. They haven't lost a road game this year. And I think it extends to 8 going back to last year on the road. Who do you like in this game, Joe? It's a flat 3. I saw some 3.5s early in the week. I think I would have scooped Seattle up with that. I think the Rams are better than Seattle, but every time I doubt Seattle, Joe. They show up with a really big effort, especially on the road.
Yeah, but Seattle, this is the game that did in Sam Darnold in Minnesota, even though it wasn't in this.
When he went to LA, right?
Right.
McVay knows what to do against Darnold. He knows how to take him down. Is what you're saying.
Well, defensively, you would think they would know what to do, right?
Mm.
Blitz them, blitz them, blitz them. Something tells me the under's going to come in.
They have won 10 in a row on the road.
Yeah, I know. And they're catching 3. I would probably say it's LA. Sam Darnold turns into a pumpkin before Thanksgiving.
I mean, I think it's LA. But I don't like going at this Seattle team shows up.
You mean Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold. I like the Rams. If it got to 3.5, Joe, I might dip my toe back in the water.
All right.
For it.
Nobody said you're going to win by a shutout.
You like the total under?
I do. 48.5.
Under, right?
Yeah, I'm not buying the over.
I like the under too. The other big NFC game is the Sunday night game in Philly with the Lions and the Eagles.
Eagles in the under.
Eagles minus 2.5, 46.5. Now, I think the Eagles are better. The Eagles cannot, Joe, under any circumstances, let the Lions roll in there and score like a couple touchdowns on their first 2 drives. And I think the Eagle defense is good enough to not let that happen. But I think the Eagle offense is in a place right now where I don't know if they'd be in a good spot trying to rally from 10 plus down. I don't think that's their offense needs to be playing from ahead or at this point, because their offense has got problems. There's no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
But their defense is so good. I think it's the Eagles, Joe, at home. Doesn't it kind of scratch? I guess it's just everyone loves the Lions so much. And again, the Lions are.
Could we? I think it's the under.
60% of the money's on the Lions.
I think it's the under. Again, I think the Eagles can run on them. Believe it or not.
You think the Eagles can run on the Lions?
I do.
I'm not going to touch the total. I'm just going to take the Eagles minus the 2.5.
I like the Eagles. I don't love it, but I like the Eagles.
I like the Eagles too. Anything for you Monday night with the Cowboys and the Raiders? What an awful game.
Why is it a double header on Monday?
No, that's one game. The Lion game is Sunday night.
Right.
Cowboys Raiders is Monday night. It's got to be the over, right?
I was just gonna say what I mean.
It's got to be the over.
But Gino drives
50.5.
Gino drives me nuts. I can't stand them.
Cowboy D is pathetic.
I mean, they should be. What do you think the team total for the Cowboys is?
Cowboy team total. If you give me a moment, Joe, I can give it to you.
How is that game not like 52?
Yeah, 26.5 is the Cowboy team total.
I think I like that more.
Let me tell you, the Raider at 23.5 is appealing because the Cowboy defense is so bad. The Raiders,
yeah, but
you don't want to rely on. Throw me the ball, Gino. You don't want to rely on.
He is. Gino's like he's another one. Like wake up, man. He just sits there. He just sits there till he gets freaking smashed.
He just sits there till he gets smashed. Throw me the ball.
Throw me. No. Bubba, you're right. The front 7 is right. White and those linebackers are very active. Max Crosby is always in the backfield. They're a very difficult team to run on.
Yeah.
But I think you could throw on them. I think that's the one thing that teams don't attack the Raiders over the top. You're not going to run on them consistently with Max Crosby and White at the linebacker position. I mean, they're very active. You got to challenge them over the top.
Right.
And, Jacksonville did. Some teams do. Think about it. Even not Cam Ward. What was the team that abused them earlier in the year? I got to look.
I know it. Jeez. I know it, Cole. I know it in my heart.
I know Cole. He always goes high. He's going high. He's going low.
I know it in my heart. I feel it in my bones. A lot of teams have abused them this year, Joe. I think that you're referring to Well, Washington scored 41 on them. The Colts scored 40 on them.
Yeah,
The
they
Titans only scored 10. The
yeah,
Chiefs scored
that
31.
was the
The
game that
Jags
didn't
had
tell
that
in.
overtime win over
Yeah,
them where the Raiders went for
that was an
2.
over. So there you go.
Um, it's an over, Joe.
All right, there you
It's an
go.
over that. So that's it. All right, Carver and Lisi, week 11 NFL picks, Joe. We continue
Always a
to
pleasure. Love
roll
you, brother.
along. Great job as always. Let's have a big weekend. I don't have to give you any luck. I mean, you were
Don't do
there
that.
every
Don't do
week you
that,
were there.
Carver.
So
Look, I don't want to have to walk to the corner store and hey, Lise, how's hey Carver? The picks.
and Joe, nobody, I could guarantee you nobody's asking you about my picks. There's nobody doing that. So that much I'm pretty much assured of as we go forward. Great job by everybody hanging in with us here during the college and the NFL. And we'll be back next week, Joe, as we get to mid-November. The cold, blustery winter of the NFL rolls in. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Joe, great job. Carver Lisi, NFL. See you again.